you should repeat walls of nasal cavity. Nasal cavity, page 52 and 53. These 2 pages. And we start from osteology. Look here. That is nasal cavity, and it has superior wall. What is this bone? Nasal bone. Then pars nasalis of frontal bone. Here it is lamina cribrosa, cribriform plate of admate bone, and body, corpus, osseous, sphenoidalis. That is superior wall. Now, inferior wall. Inferior wall, that is hard palate, palatine process of maxilla and lamina horizontalis of palatine bone. Next, medial wall, that is septum nasi. No, anteriorly here it is cartilaginous part of the septum. And behind the cartilage, we have lamina perpendicularis of admate bone. Here it is vomer. This is crista sphenoidalis, crista nasalis of palatine bone, and crista nasalis of maxilla. And superiorly here it is crista and spina nasalis of frontal bone. And lateral wall. Here it is the same nasal bone, facies nasalis of maxilla, lacrimal bone, concha nasalis inferior, concha nasalis superior and media together with labyrinths of admate bone, lamina perpendicularis of palatine bone, and lamina medialis from pterygate process of sphenoid bone. Posteriorly here it is choana, and superiorly small part of the body of sphenoid bone. That is nasal cavity. Can you give me a piece of paper or copy book? Yes, thank you. Look here. Now my diagram only for your understanding. This is nasal cavity. Nasal cavity. That is a septum. Oh, here it is crista galli. This is lamina cribrosa. That is labyrinths of admate bone. And from labyrinths we have superior concha nasalis and concha nasalis media. And isolated bone, concha nasalis inferior. Space between superior and medial concha. That is number 1. What is it? Meatus nasi superior, space between medial and inferior concha, meatus nasi medius, and space between inferior concha and floor of the nasal cavity, that is meatus nasi inferior, and space between septum and concha nasalis, this is this space, from here till here, that is meatus nasi communis, common nasal meatus. And you should remember what opens into superior nasal meatus. Who remember? That is sinus sphenoidalis, sphenoidal sinus. What else? Which cells of admate bone? Cellular, admetalis, posterior, and foramen. Remember, what is the name of this foramen? Yes, good. Foramen, spheno, palatinum. All of them opens into superior nasal meatus. Now, what opens into the middle nasal meatus? Sinus. What is the largest sinus? Yes, sinus maxillaris. Then second place in size, that is sinus frontalis, and cellular, admetalis, anterior, and medium. And last, inferior nasal meatus, it has canal, canalis, naso, lacrimalis, nasolacrimal canal. It is not new information for you. You already know it. It is necessary to repeat. And air from nasal cavity goes to nasal part of pharynx, then oral part of pharynx, and from there goes to larynx. Larynx consists of paired and unpaired cartilages. Tell me please, what is the name of this cartilage? That is thyroid cartilage, cartilagia thyroidea, thyroid. It is unpaired. It consists of right and left lamina, dextrum and sinistrum. Each lamina has horns, superior horns and inferior horns, and anterior, that is angle, angulus laryngis. Below of thyroid cartilage we have cricoid cartilage, cartilagia cricoidea, and cricoid cartilage has arch. Here it is anteriorly, that is arch, and posteriorly, that is lamina of cricoid cartilage. And last, unpaired cartilage. Here it is. What is it? What is this cartilage? That is epiglottis. Epiglottis. They are unpaired and paired. Here and here we have arytenoid cartilage. This is arytenoid cartilage, and arytenoid cartilage has apex, base, and two processes from base forward. That is vocal process, and laterally it is muscular process. That is arytenoid. Except arytenoid, we have smaller corniculate cartilage, cartilagia corniculata. It is above of arytenoid, and we have cartilagia tritticea inside of our epiglottic fold. Impossible to see. They are small cartilage inside of folds. Now, structure of the larynx. Inlet into the larynx, that is adductus laryngis. Adductus laryngis anteriorly forms with the help of epiglottis. Posteriorly, here and here, that is apex of arytenoid cartilage, here and here. Between them, fold, that is plica interarytenoidea, and laterally another fold, area epiglottic fold, plica area epiglottica. And laterally from this fold, okay, what is behind of larynx? Who remember? You already know. Pharynx. That is laryngeal part of pharynx. And now, this place of the pharynx, which is laterally from our epiglottic fold, this and heat is the same. That is recess, piriform recess, recessus piriformis. Recessus piriformis, that is part of the pharynx, which is laterally from our epiglottic fold. Next, from inlet of the larynx till this fold, that is vestibular fold, till here. All of this part of the larynx, what is above of vestibular fold, that is a vestibule, vestibulum laryngis. Anterior wall of the vestibule, that is epiglottis. Posterior wall, that is arytenoid cartilage. And lateral wall, this one, that is quadriangular membrane, membrana quadriangularis. That is a vestibule. Next fold, here it is, that is vocal fold, plica vocalis, and space between vestibular fold and vocal fold, this space, that is ventricle, ventriculus laryngis, and everything what is below of the vocal fold, here it is. This is infraglottic cavity, cavitas infraglottis. Anteriorly, it forms with the help of thyroid and arch of cricoid cartilages. Posteriorly, that is lamina of cricoid cartilage. And lateral wall, that is elastic cone. And superior free border of elastic cone, that is vocal ligament, ligamentum vocale, vocal ligament. Now, I will draw a diagram, and you need to draw this diagram next time. Look here, that is internal structure of the larynx. Number 1, that is vestibule, that is upper part of larynx. Number 2, that is vestibular fold, plica vestibularis. Number 3, that is vocal fold, plica vocalis. Space between them, who remember what is it? Ventricle. Number 4, that is ventriculus laryngis. Space between right and left vestibular folds. Number 5, that is rima vestibuli. Space between right and left vocal folds, that is rima glottidis. And everything what is below of rima glottidis, number 7, that is cavitas infraglottidis, infraglottic cavity. That is internal structure of pharynx. It is not so difficult and you need to draw this diagram. And last, muscles of the larynx. All muscles subdivide into muscles which constrict or dilate what? Adductus laryngis, and constrict or dilate rima glottidis, rima glottidis. That is first group. And second group, muscles which change tension of vocal ligaments. For example, some muscles tense vocal ligament, some of them relaxes vocal ligament. For example, this muscle, between what and what? Who remember, what is this cartilage? Cricoid, and this one, thyroid. Cricothyroid muscle, musculus cricothyroidus, cricothyroid muscle. This muscle moves thyroid cartilage forward and it tenses vocal ligament, tense vocal ligament. Another muscle, this one, this, between thyroid and muscular process of arytenoid cartilage, that is thyroarytenoid muscle. It relaxes vocal ligament, and the same, it constrict rima glottidis. This muscle has two functions, relaxes vocal ligament and constrict rima glottidis. Another constrictor, that is cricoarytenoid lateral muscle, musculus cricoarytenoidus lateralis. Another constrictor, that is oblique arytenoid muscles, musculus arytenoidus obliquus, and transverse arytenoid muscle, musculus arytenoidus transversus. All of them constrict rima glottidis, and only one muscle which is dilates rima glottidis, that is cricoarytenoid posterior muscle, musculus cricoarytenoidus posterior. It dilates rima glottidis. One muscle constrict addutus laryngis, that is continuation of oblique arytenoid muscle, that is araepiglottic muscle. Araepiglottic, it's constrict addutus laryngis, and thyroepiglottic muscle, this one, it dilates addutus laryngis. That is all on what we can see in preparate. This diagram you need to draw. What is it? Nasal cavity, and here it is nasal part of pharynx. And this opening between nasal cavity and pharynx, that is choana. This is inferior concha nasalis. This one is medial concha nasalis. And here it is, this is superior concha. In space between inferior concha and inferior wall of nasal cavity, that is inferior nasal meatus, here it is medial nasal meatus, and this is superior nasal meatus. Superior meatus, that is place where sphenoid sinus opens, and posterior cells of Edmain bone, and sphenopalatine open foramen. In medial nasal meatus, frontal sinus, sinus frontalis, and maxillary sinus, sinus maxillaris opens, and anterior and medial cells of Edmain bone. And inferior meatus, that is place where canalis nasolacrimalis opens into nasal cavity. This is epiglottis. This is hyoid bone. Between hyoid bone and thyroid cartilage, we have membrane, membrana thyroide, thyroid membrane. That is hyoid bone. This is thyroid cartilage, superior horn, inferior horn, angle, angulus laryngeus. This is cricoid cartilage, that is arch of cricoid. And here we cut it, that is lamina of cricoid cartilage. This is lamina. And this is left, and here it is right, arytenoid cartilage. Here it is epiglottis. Between epiglottis and apex of arytenoid cartilage, we have R epiglottic fold, this and this, and space laterally from this fold, here and here, that is piriform recess. This is vestibular fold, plica vestibularis. This is vocal fold, plica vocalis. Between them, ventricle, ventriculus laryngeus. This part of larynx, above of vestibular fold, that is a vestibule of larynx. And below of vocal fold, that is cavitas infraglottidis. Space between left and right vocal folds, that is rima glottidis. And between right and left vestibular fold, rima vestibuli. This muscle, that is posterior muscle, crica arytenoid posterior muscle, it's dilator. It dilates rima glottidis. It is muscle between cricoid and thyroid cartilages, cricothyroid muscle.